In this video, we learn about tidy data, concatenation of a data, and merging the dataset. Up till now, we learn how to load the data, how to interact with the data, how to find out the insights from the data. Now we learn how to perform operation on the data such as tidy data, then combine the data with each other. After that, simply merge the data. Now here I write tidy data. So what do you mean by tidy data? So tidy data, in simple term, we say that each row is an observation. So what do you mean by tidy data? Tidy data is a combination of row and column. Each row consists of an observation. Then each column is a variable, that is features. Then each type of observational unit form a table. Next, combination of row and column form a table. So I write here combination of rows and column form a table. So it consists of not much data. So it can be seen as a tidy data. Now we are going to focus how we are going to perform concatenation. So concatenation, what do you mean by concatenation? Concatenation is nothing but simply merging. So I write here title and I select this cell as a markdown and try to run it. Now concatenation is nothing but simply merge the data, or you can say it's a combine the data. So we are going to combine the data with the help of concatenation operation. Then this approach is possible if your data was split into the part, or if you perform the calculation that you want to append to existing dataset. Means we require one dataset and we are going to add some more data into that dataset. So I say that adding the data into an existing data set. So it is nothing but concatenation. Now what we do for concatenation? Concatenation is performed using concat function. Now so I select this is the markdown and try to run. Now first step, we are going to consider adding the number of rows. So this is my operation, adding the rows. How we are going to add the row? For that, I simply import the pandas. So I write import pandas as a PD. Then load multiple data set. So I write it's the data1 equal to pd dot read underscore csv, and here I'm going to load my first data set. So I consider my data folder. This is my data folder. From here I'm going to add this file. So I copy the path, this is my path, and from here I'm going to load my data. So my shortcut, I write here double dot, it's a slash, then here I write my file name. So concat 1.csv. Okay, and try to run it. Now just check concatenation is going, sorry, adding the data is going to do doing successfully, or we are going to perform here a load the data operation. So loading is going to successfully or not. It's an error. Why? Because data is not found. Okay, so what should I do? I just take the complete path. Let's say change this first, try to run it. Okay, it also reflect error. Okay, so instead of that I'm going to collect the complete path. So I'm going to collect here from complete path and try to paste. So this is my complete path. Okay, try to run it. So here I write R or Uniscape. Okay, so it's perfect. Then I write data 2. Then instead of concat underscore 1, I select concat underscore 2 or data 2. Try to run it. So data 2 is generated. Then I say data 3 equivalent to concat underscore 3 and try to run it. Okay, so I have how many data set? 3 data set. Now what do I do? I'm going to print the value of data 1. So this is my data 1. Let's check. This is the data 1. Then I print, it's a data 2, print data 2. Then I'm going to print data 3. So it's a data 3. Okay, so it looks like this. Now what we do, we are going to perform concatenation operation. Now we are going to perform concatenation operation. So here I write concatenation operation. Now what I do, here I am going to consider variable name row concat, and here I write PD, method is concat, and what I'm going to concat, I'm going to concat all 3 data set. So concat is a function, so it is followed by circular parentheses. Then inside the circular parentheses I use a list. Each list consists of my data set. So data 1 represents first data set, data 2 represents second data set, and data 3 represents third data set. Now what do I do? Here I simply print my variable row underscore concat and try to run it. Now what happens? My row wise data is going to merge. Now after that we are going to create the subset. Subset means simply fetch out few data. Now for fetching out the data we use LOC, ILOC. ILOC is work with indexing, LOC is work with the table name. So I go with ILOC because it's work with indexing. So table is nothing but a data frame. It is a combination of row and column. I want to fetch out row wise data. So I write here simply print statement My variable name is raw underscore concat, and here I use variable RLOC, and here I write 3 comma 3 comma. Okay, now what happened? We just check here. It's A. Here is A, B, C, D. This is the value of column. I'm considered as a row, and here it's I write here as a 3, means third row is going to consider. So A, A3, B, B3, C, C3, D, D3. Okay, then now we are going to discuss how to create new row of a data. How to create new row of a data. So I write adding new row of a data. Adding new row of a data. So I consider this is the markdown for me, and now I'm going to add new row here. So I write new row. This is the variable name. I'm going to write pd dot series. So series is a single dimensional data. Series is a single dimensional data, and I'm going to add the single dimensional data. Then I use the series. Then I write here, let's say M1. This is my data, and it is in a form of string. That's why I write inside the single quote or double quote. Let's say M2. Then it's a M3. Then it's a M4. Okay, so this is my data. Now once I'm going to print my variable new underscore row, then series is going to print it, and indexing is start from 0. Total number of elements are 4, so indexing is start from 0 to 3, and this is my data. Now what should I do? I'm going to add new row of a data. So same, we use concat function. So I write pd dot concat. Inside the circle parentheses, we are going to pass data1. Data1 is my first data set, and I'm going to add this new row. Okay, so I'm right here, new row. Then what happened? Your data1 is this value, and we are going to add a new row, that is M1, M2, M3 and M4. So try to run it. So here my data is going to add it row wise. Here my data is going to add it row wise. While we are not focused on column. We are focused on row, and which is to be start from index position 0, So here new index value is generated, that is 0. Here is 0, 1, 2 and 3, and ABCD we are not going to define here column name ABCD. That's why new column is generated, that is 0, and here my data is reflected M1, M2, M3 and M4. Index value is associated with this, and remaining value is represented with the help of NaN representing missing value. So I write here one note. Note is NaN is represent the missing value. This is missing value. Okay, then now we are going to consider here another example, that is we are going to append some more data. Now what happened here? So I select this is the markdown, and here we say append the data, append the data into another data, append the data into the another data. So I select this is the markdown and try to run it. Now what do we do? Here I write print data1 dot append, and we are going to append, let's say, data2. Now what happened? We just check. We know that append is a method which is available in a list. It is responsible to add a new value into a list, because append is a method which is associated with list. Now I am going to use append method with the data, and data1 and data2 are the data frame. So it will be work with the data frame. We just check it and try to run it. Now yes, it's working. Here it is to be observed that this is your data1, this one is your data2, data1 is merged with data2. Now we are going to perform one more operation, same operation. So data1 dot append, here I write it's a data3. Then try to run it. So here again merging is going to done. So we can say that concat and append perform the same operation, but you are going to perform concatenation with the help of one or more data, but append in which you are going to consider only one data and perform the append operation with another data. Okay, so this is the difference. But if I write in this way, now what happens? It is not allowed. Because it allow only one value. But here, how many data frame I am going to pass? 2. So it is not allowed. So I just delete this, not required. After that, I am going to consider dictionary. So I write here dictionary. Now let's assume. Here I say sample dictionary. It is equivalent to opening curly bracket, because dictionary is represented with the help of opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket, and it consists of how many values? 2 values. One is key, another one is data value. So I write A is my key, it is associated with data, let's say M1, comma B is my key, it is associated with the data M2, C is my key, it is associated with the data M3, D is my key, here capital C, D is my key, it is associated with data M4. Okay, then I'm going to print my dictionary. So it's a sample underscore dict. Now what happened? My dictionary is going to generate it. Now I want to add this dictionary into my data set. But it should be observed that when I consider a series, we are not going to pass any index value. So by default index position is going to consider. But as I consider the dictionary, then key as well as data value both are going to pass. Sometimes your key is work like as an index. Now what should we do? When we are going to perform append operation, we are going to ignore the index. Ignore the index. So here I write print statement, then it's a data 1 dot append, and we are going to append what? Sample dictionary, and here I'm going to ignore what index I'm going to ignore, and it is associated with the boolean value. It may be true, it may be false, so I'm going to ignore the index. It's a true. Then I just check here. This is additional bracket I'm going to provide. This is not required. Now it's perfect. Try to run it. So here my dictionary is going to add it, and I'm going to ignore the index which is associated with the dictionary, that is A, B, C and D. Instead of that, automatically the column value, row value is going to increase. Automatically the row value is going to increase. It's fine.